Hello everyone, this is Pilpoh. Welcome back to Star Technology. I've done loads between episodes. I just want to put that out there. We have got all of the crushing wheels all set up, all at max speed as well. So, yeah. We got gravel there, we've got sand to the right, and we've got dust to the left. So, yeah. Another thing that I did was I actually used muffler mod because this bit was making me need a wee right there. So, yeah, I did mute a couple of things, or make them so they're not as loud as they were. But yeah, this took me a phenomenal amount of time, I will admit. I think it took me all evening to do, one evening. So we've got gravel right there. I'm just going to point out that this is a voiceover. For some reason, my microphone wasn't working when I recorded this episode. So, yeah, I'm going to just do a voiceover. I hope that's okay with everyone. Anyway, right here, we've got all of the, what they called smart chutes. I'm just sticking them all on 64. I forgot to do that before. We're not making 64 at a time when it comes to the cobblestone right there. So we've got a classic cobblestone generator in this pack, which is, I'm trying to reach it right here, but can't reach it. So I'm going over to this one instead. So we've got stone barrel with water, and we've got lava, and we've got the water coming from the aqueous accumulator and the fluid cell, all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah. This is creating us an absolute ton of gravel, and we've got sand over in this one over here. So, I don't know what I'm pointing at right there, but there we go. But yeah, all of these, I think it's 4,000 and something SU to run these at full pelt, which is basically it's 8 of the large water wheels that you need. And so that means that that's for just 2 of these, two wheels at the same time. So the left and the right one right there. So that's what? That's 4,000. So that's, yeah, that's a lot right there. So you need a lot of SU to run this, is what I'm trying to say. You can also use windmills, but I'm not using windmills because, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't use windmills, if I'm honest. I probably should have, but I'll use them in a later project, let's say. So, yeah, here we go. So we've got gravel over in this one. I've also added all of the upgrades so I can hold 8 million and 400,000 or something in these 2 drawers right here. And the one over with the sand, because you can also get clay and you can also get flint. I made a 4x4. Oh, sorry, a 2x2, but you get 4 in there, right? So, yeah. So you get slightly less space, but that's fine because I don't really mind about that. So yeah, there we go. That took me ages, and now I think, am I about to reveal? I think I am. I'm about to reveal the madness that I did. Actually, I'm going to draw it out a second, aren't I? There we go. This is the madness. Why did I do this? Amazing. Not gonna lie, I originally tried to do it vertically, as in have them so stacked on top of each other and laid down flat, if you know what I mean. I tried to do it that way. It doesn't work like that though, unfortunately. But I didn't find that out until I'd already built a bunch of stuff down here, so that's probably why I kept going with the water wheels. Just turn them sideways, and yeah. So this one right here has got 4 water wheels on each side. So you got one on the left, one on the right, and they're feeding into 2 of the crushing wheels up here, right? And there is in the middle there is a small water wheel, because I did get the comment saying that it speeds up the large water wheels if you add one of those. And then I literally just duplicated it over here. Now, you might notice that I've actually got 5 water wheels on each side here. Now, there is 100% a good reason for that. And the good reason is I miscalculated. So we've got an extra couple on this side. So, yeah, both of these have got 5. Now, that means that there's 30 water wheels plus 3 of the small water wheels on this one right here for the dust, meaning that we can tap into a little bit more SU over there if we want to run something else. We can also do that on the other one, on the one with 2. over there. So the one that is creating us some sand. So yeah, that was something that I did between episodes, and I probably shouldn't have done it the way that I did it, but I thought it was quite a useful thing to do right there. Automating some resources right now is probably a good idea, in my opinion. So moving on from that, today we're going to try and get ourselves some large farms. As you can see, I've already made one of the large farm, like, controller thingies. Also, we need a lot more steel. Everyone's been telling me to make loads of steel, so I'm just showing you that I got that working right there. Now, I do need to make a couple of these farms, and I just remembered that I didn't have any bone meal, but we all know how to get bone meal in a skyblock pack. Composter. So I'm going to use the composter. Now, I'm going to make 3 farms. I kind of, as I went along, thought about it and was like, we need to make 3 farms. One of them is going to be for potatoes. One of them is going to be for sugarcane, so we can get some sugar. And then we've got another one which is going to be for rice. Now, right there, we just got our second large farm. Later on, I do come back and think, oh, actually, I need another one. So that's why, yeah, I do get all of the bits right now. But we will get 3 farms set up by the end of the episode. But yeah, luckily, I've got a load of treated wood. Now, unfortunately, I used my my bucket, my bouquet, to pick up all of the creosote and put it, you know, in the system, and then put some wood around it, and then you get your treated planks, and then I had to keep going backwards and forwards doing that. And I got a really good comment saying, just use a drum. So I am going to start using the drum from, I think, after this episode onwards, I start using a drum. But yeah, as I said, I've already recorded this episode. This is a voiceover, so I know what's happening. I know the future. Anyway, yeah. Today, the whole plan is we are going to try and get all of the quests done. So, you didn't see it right there, but I did make the large stone barrel. I feel like we're going to make that stone barrel, actually, to make some more cobblestone later on. Make it quicker. But right here, we're looking at plant oil. And one of the things that I did notice is it says right there, second one along, rice. So we're going to put rice down as well. So the reason we want this is because obviously it's the quest. You can see up in the top left there, we've got ourselves all of the things that we want to make this episode. So farms. We want to make the diesel stuff. But then there's like loads of different things. We're not going to do the GregTech ethanol. We're going to do the create. What's the name of the mod again? The diesel generators, I think it's called. Create diesel generators. Yeah. So we're going to use that instead, because it's a lot easier to use, in my opinion, at least. So, yeah, that's going to be quite good. I do a lot of tidy up after the episode as well, by the way. So, if it looks a bit messy right now, it does get a lot of tidy up next episode. Now, this thing over here, I built all of this whilst watching Invincible on Amazon Prime. And, yeah, I was kind of like, by the time that I'd finished with Invincible, I was like, oh my god, I've just made these ridiculous looking, like, crushing wheel setup over here. So, yeah, very odd. Also, I noticed over here that I don't have any wood in this right now, but, yeah. Anyway, I don't feel like we need this farm over here, because we're about to set up some auto farms. So, and the auto farms are really, really good, and they're so... like, it's going to sound really stupid, but they're so automated, like, straight away. You don't need them to, you know, you don't need to feed them anything, really. You just give them some crops, and then they'll just duplicate those. It's really good, actually. Now, I'm just trying to tidy everything up. Now, I probably should make farms for, like, everything. But I only make 3 today. Maybe later on I'll have a big field of farms. Sounds funny, but yeah. I did think about making the linking tool and everything, but I'm not actually going to do that. Also, I make a big mistake right here because obviously we need more than just the one sugarcane to make the sugarcane farm work. So we'll be coming back to that in a bit. I wanted to get this thing, the locking tool, because It just makes it really nice. You just lock down all of your like drawers wherever you are. Now, my whole plan is we were going to get ourselves a drawer controller eventually. And that was just me showing off that it goes down to 0. That's what we were looking for right there. But yeah, I want to get a drawer controller as soon as we can, basically, because that way we can link everything up. Problem is, we've only got the small, the copper version of the, of the upgrades right there. So you can see it right there in functional storage, copper upgrades. So we can't get like a ridiculous range on our drawer controller anymore, which is kind of a pain, but I think that's okay. We'll get to applied energistics soon enough anyway, I think. So we can put a couple of those drawer controllers down and we can just link them up with storage controllers. I'm hoping we can get to applied energistics soon. Let's just say that. Anyway, this is just me trying to figure out how many of these I'm going to need for making one more set of farms. I don't know why I did it like this. I think at this point I'm just like, meh. Oh, I got it. I nailed it. That's perfect. Need a little bit more right there, actually, but yeah, there we go. Right, so I'll tell you what. I'm going to cut it here, and we're going to set up some farms right now. So, right here, I realised that I'm actually into the next set of quests, Industrial Revolution. I'm not quite in there yet, but that's the plan. And I really like the fact that it's got right there. I'm like hovering over it and everything. Got some applied energistics. I really, really want to get applied energistics set up if you can't tell. I'm just not used to not having applied. So it wants us to make 8 basic electronic circuits to begin with, which I think is fine. We know how to make them. It's just a lot of like grinding to get them all done. And, you know, it asks us to make all of these things. Carbon brushes. Now, this right here is what we're going to end up doing for power. Spoiler alert, I know, but I think that's the route that I'm going down. I know there's other things that actually give you power, like dynamos for one thing. But we're going to use Create New Age because I like using Create Power. Anyway, what we have to do is we have to go all the way along here. We have to get to the rock filtration controller, which not entirely sure how this works. I think you chuck a load of rock in and then you get like a bunch of geodes from it. So that is going to be the plan eventually. We are going to get some Certus quartz from that, which would be amazing. And then we can just start cracking on with applied energistics. Now, I don't know if this is the new version of applied energistics. And I don't know what add-ons we've got as well. But fingers crossed. We've got a couple of add-ons. I really enjoy the extended AE, I think it's called, and advanced AE. Just like make everything, funny enough, quality of life. Anyway, I've been looking at this right here. So right there, we've got the inventory controller. And that's the one that we're going to start using. And we can change the weather if we wanted to. We could turn it off. Change the daylight cycle as well. So it just doesn't change the day, if you know what I mean. That would be kind of useful. It is maybe a little bit of a waste of tokens right now, though. I don't know if that's... I don't know what we need them for, if I'm honest. I don't know yet, but... Oh, yeah, I forgot to do the cured rubber. I need to automate that bit at some point. But yeah, fingers crossed, what we can do is get everything we need for the input and the outputs for everything, right? Because that is exactly what we need right there. So we need 6 of each. And then, hopefully, by the time we're done with this... Do I have all of the wooden planks? I'm not sure I do. Oh, I do. Oh, lovely. We can quickly make the red alloy cables, and then we can make ourselves the low voltage or ultra low voltage machine hull. Now, as far as I'm aware, we just need 3 inputs and 3 outputs, and I forgot that we had some chests in our system. So, but luckily you can just use a screwdriver and it'll convert them from inputs to outputs. So that's really useful. So we've got 3 inputs, 3 outputs, and we can use these for the farm. I also really don't like how this is sunken in to the to the earth right there. So yeah, we're gonna destroy this and we're gonna move it. Now I did put a block underneath this before anyone thinks, what are you doing? So yeah, I'm gonna start making 3 more of these, but I'm gonna bump them up 1. Right, there we go. There is 3 of them right there, and it does say that they are formed. So that does require you to use a hoe on the dirt on the middle right there. Now this is where I figure out that I messed up earlier, because we actually need 8 of those. See right there? We need 8 sugarcane. And then we can start producing over and over and over. It does take 10 seconds, so it's a little bit slower if you don't feed it like bone meal and stuff. But it's still free, isn't it? It's absolutely free if we do it that way. So now I'm just considering what we do. And I think what we're going to end up... See, I'm looking for snad and stuff. We don't have snad in this pack. So what I think we end up doing is we just start sieving a bunch of... I think it's dirt. Why am I doing sand over here? Oh, yeah, because I was like, maybe we could grow it with twerk. But I know that that doesn't work. So... Well, I know now at least, right? So if we put that there, twerk doesn't work at all on sugarcane. Which is super annoying. Why does it not work? You'd think that that would work, right? But it doesn't. So we're going to have to sieve for it, unfortunately. Which is rooted dirt. No, it's not. It's mud. There you go. So we can make a bunch of mud. Super easily. Is it dirt? It is dirt, isn't it? Yeah, you put that in... Oh, yeah, I need to make a load of dirt first as well. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to convert that into some coarse dirt. And that just duplicates the dirt out of it, which is super useful. So you're guaranteed to get your dirt back from this, and you will probably get a little bit extra. But obviously, you use a little bit of the gravel, which doesn't matter to us because we've got an absolute ton of gravel. So we've automated that now. Yeah, I don't think I've expressed, like, heavily enough how long it took me to do all of this stuff over here with the crushing wheels. It was a ridiculous amount. But anyway, we can chuck this in here. We have to change it, I think, to transformation. No, the other one, soaking, yeah. Take it out and put it back in. There we go. We're going to get a bunch of mud out of that, and we're going to sieve that up and get ourselves some sugarcane. There we go. We got ourselves 8. Literally exactly 8. That's all we need though, right? We only need 8 of these. So stick those in there. Why does it say idling? Oh yeah, I forgot about this bit. I completely messed up because I was like, there's supposed to be a thing that we can press and so on and so on. It's in the input bus. Ah, there we go. That's because I was making potatoes and I was like, oh, it's in here. Oh, that's exactly where we need to do it. So I stuck it on, what was that? I stuck it on the 0 path, I think it is. And that's the one that just lets you not use anything else. And I think it's at this point, I'm like, oh my god, it's working. It's working. And then I look over here and we've got loads of potatoes. So, yeah, this is going to be our first one that we're going to make, is the potato one. And we're going to use this later on to make us some bone meal. Oh yeah, I actually do use some drawers for this, like, straight away. And, like, it makes more sense to do that. Although we don't need an input one, technically, because the input's never used. And I forget how many we're supposed to have, but I just put 8 in there. So, yeah, there we go. And that is gonna, over time, make us an absolute ton of potatoes. So we love it. Now, this one right here, I was like, yeah, we can finally do this. And then that'll get us a bunch of sugarcane as well. And then I think the last one is rice, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't remember if we've got a lot of rice. I think we have to sieve a bunch of rooted dirt, which you get from dirt. So you have to sieve it twice, basically. So this is where I'm like, have we got any rice? I don't know. Maybe I've already put it in there. I don't remember what I cut out. That's the only problem, right? Right. No, I haven't. Cool. Okay, so we need 8 of this. So we've got to go do some sieving. So we did all of that. Now I'm converting all of the spud that we've got whilst we were doing that into bone meal. So we're using using a composter. This is vanilla, by the way. I know lots of people are like, it's always funny when Pilpoh figures stuff out that's just like basic vanilla mechanics. And you're right, it is kind of funny sometimes. Like, it's not funny when it's like an obvious thing and I just didn't know that that was a thing. But to be fair, I think I've got all of those now. But this composter I knew about. You have to use the 2 hoppers, right? So, yeah, there we go. I'm also going to make one of these. This is the inventory connector thingy. And this is purely prepping for later on. I don't know if I mentioned it either. The wireless crafting terminal I've got is the advanced version. It like takes barely any extra resources for that. I'm putting the inventory controller on that, by the way, because that way we can use a draw controller later on. We don't do it this episode, but we will do that soon, let's say. Anyway, yeah, there you go. You can see it's the advanced version. So that's super useful, and I can still, yeah, still use it right here. So yeah, now we've got all of these set up. I guess we should just start cracking on with... That is super annoying as well, that sound. So let's turn that off. Yeah, I'm like, which ones are the composter ones? Just turn them all off. Just type in here, composter. Oh, there it is. Found it. Good stuff. Right, so now what I'm going to do is... I guess we're just going to look at the quests and try and do all of them. So, obviously, we need to get the plant oil. We need to get ethanol and all of that sort of gubbins. So, let's crack on with that. And we can throw that in a basin with a bonker above it. And it will bonk it into... Now, this was a stupid idea because apparently it makes bags of rice. Which I didn't really realise until afterwards. But you can get plant oil just like that, putting some in there. Now, if you get a bucket of plant oil, you can actually put it as the filter. Which I end up doing later on. But right now, I'm just going to put 8 in at once. Because that way it will never... Or 7, I think I put in at one time. But I'm trying to get literally enough just so I can get the bucket for the quest. Now, we're not going to do much. Let's chuck that up there for now. No, not the empty bucket. There we go. Yeah. We're not going to do much with diesel. It's not something that I think is that good. So it's probably good if you fully automate like everything to do with it, which you could totally do in this pack. So I'm not stopping anyone else from doing it. I think it's a good idea for other people to explore the option at least. Personally, though, I'm not going to do that because I feel like it'd just be too much. We've got water wheels that do just the same thing, even though I went over the top. I also figured out that you have to... Well, you can use a rotational speed controller because we've got access to gold now. And they're super easy to make in this pack, their rotational speed controller. So I might end up using those eventually as well. Not at next episode because I forget about it until like I'm trying to do the voiceover for this. So there we go. Anyway, all you do here is you use a basin. You put one of these like lids on top. And then you can... I don't think I was supposed to pick up those. It was these ones, right? Yeah. So, chuck in a bunch of sugar. And we need to get a bunch of bone meal as well. We've got some right here. Not all of it. It's actually quite quick, making bone meal. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good. Chuck that one in. And you just leave it. And you can see that thing is like slowly tilting to the left. And then when it's done, you get a little bit of ethanol. And then all you need to do is mix the ethanol and the plant oil together. So, yeah. Create diesel generators is a fantastic mod. I do like it, to be fair. There we go. So that is now done. I'm not sure why I'm not looking at... There you go. It's now done. Obviously, we need to wait for it to happen a few more times until we can get a bucket. But technically, all we need is a bucket. And we're good. We only need one bucket because that's the quest. We don't need to use this, if I'm honest. But we might end up using it later if we want to make like some sort of diesel-powered system. But yeah, here we go. So if we take some plant oil, we take some ethanol. I wonder if this ethanol works instead of GregTech ethanol. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'm going to wait for this, and we'll be back in a sec. There it is. So, if we open this one up, you have to open it up first before you can, like, use your bucket on it. Also, yeah, it does have the thing on there still. But anyway, yeah. There we go. I needed the bucket purely because of the quest. So, I am now just waiting. Oh, yeah, you can zoom in. I was just making sure that that thing was still moving, and it is. So, over here, bucket and bucket. Oh, I made a depot, by the way. Someone mentioned that ages ago, and I've only just got round to doing it whilst I was doing other things. So, let's put that in, and you don't need to heat it or anything. It will just convert. So, and I think you do get 2 buckets worth of diesel out of it, which is kind of good. Or biodiesel, I should say. There we go. So there's the first one. And then it's going to do the spinny spinny again. And then we'll get a second one. So I keep pressing the wrong button right there. What is this cat one, by the way? I did see this. Someone mentioned it in the comments, actually. About this powder. But I've not really found what it does yet. I'll probably look at that in a future episode. So now all we need to do is make a diesel generator. So let's go off and make one of those. And there we go. We should have everything now to get ourselves a diesel generator. That is also, I think, the quest. And now we've only got one quest left to do. And that one quest is going to be for... Oh, what's it called? The blast furnace. And we are going to make that entire blast furnace, by the way. I'm going to do that between episodes, though. So we're going to start next episode with a brand new blast furnace. Because we need a lot of steel. Everyone's been commenting. Make sure you get as much steel as you can. Because you need a lot of it. So I'm taking that to heart. And we are going to make as much as we can. Now, I think at the end of this episode, I do talk about... I think it's the fan thing. Where you can... You used to... This is so old now. This is like... All the Mod 7 was when it stopped working. So I remember I used to use... Basically... You put a heat source under a fan, and it would move the fan, like, fins, meaning that you could get free power, basically, from just having a fan with a bit of lava under it. Oh, also, I'm trying to figure out how you put into this. I think you have to put it into the bottom of it, which is a bit odd. But that's fine. We can figure that one out. Here we go. So, I'm putting my my diesel in that right there. This is where I'm like, wait a minute. It should auto output, but it doesn't into the diesel engine. So we're going to pick that one back up. Stick it on top. Oh, we need to output it to the top as well. And there you go. It's going to start rotating. Now it does say when we look at it what the speed is and everything, but I wanted to do this to see what it is. Now. That does give, what does that say? 2,000, and basically one of these engines will run the crushing wheel. One crushing wheel, but not even at max pout. It will be like less than max speed by quite a lot. So you need like 3 of these, I think, to run one crushing wheel at maximum speed, if I'm thinking of it correctly. Probably less than that, but all I'm saying is, how many have we got there? So it would be 3 times 12. How many we've got? Yeah, 3 times 12 is how many we're going to need. And they all need to be running at the same time. So it's ridiculous. So we're not going to be doing that. This is where I'm like, let's have a go at the fan thing. And it doesn't end up working. So I am going to skip it. But it was a good idea. It stopped working ages ago. And that is super annoying. So I'm just going to get rid of that one. Thank you. There we go. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed. I was like, is it back? Oh, I used to love doing that. Put a bit of lava down or a campfire or something. And then it would spin the fan blades and you get like a minuscule amount of rotational force. But sometimes you only need a little bit of rotational force. So it was fine, in my opinion. I don't know why they removed it, if I'm honest. I mean, I guess it was around the time that they added like the steam boilers. think that's what it was back in the day. But yeah, anyway, let's make ourselves a quickie fan. Put the campfire down and we'll see if it rotates. So you jump up and you put it down, and unfortunately it does not rotate. You can see on top it's not moving. Stick a shaft on there so it's easier to see. There you go. It's not moving. Bit of a shame, but we used to love that back in the day. So the last thing we've got to do to end the episode off is we've got to complete chapter 1. Which is what we've done right there. Early game is now complete. So, yeah, I don't know what we do now. I guess we just crack into some actual GregTech stuff. So we're still going to use a lot of stuff from Create. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thanks for joining. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.